Hi, I'm Steve Millard, Executive Director of Cose. I'm here today for 3 minutes-ish on wellness issues with Steve Pelton of H Choices. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So let's talk about, we just went through all this stuff with the Affordable Care Act and all this stuff in D.C. about healthcare. And one of the biggest issues that we know that companies are facing is just the way their employees utilize healthcare benefits and the behaviors and how they think about changing behaviors. It's so hard not to reach for that Snickers, right?
Sure.
So tell me some of the things that your firm is doing as you're working with companies to educate employees and help to change some of that behavior.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's really trying to figure out what the employees are interested in.
Right.
We all know that we should be eating better, we should be exercising more. But in reality, if you're stressed out, or you're not sleeping well, the ability to make good, positive choices throughout the day really go down.
Right.
So a lot of times if you start focusing some of the educational content on those areas, not only can you service all your employees, but potentially their dependents, you could have a significant impact. Okay. And at that point, the other opportunity there is a lot of employers are having a hard time really educating their staff on how to be a good healthcare consumer, how to shop for their screenings and their different imaging.
You don't just do what the doctor tells you to and just go where they tell you to go?
You can, but in reality now you have the ability to shop it.
Okay.
And if you could shop it, you could get, not only save some money personally on your own deductibles, but you could obviously save your company a lot of money.
Okay.
So we find that if you have a third party come in and talk about it, it's a little bit easier, because usually when HR starts talking about benefits, people think there's bad news coming down the line.
Right.
But if you could talk about, again, how do you effectively use your benefits? How do you do the preventative type things, which are traditionally now available at no cost? You could save a lot of money long term, and you could also keep your employees happy, which is huge.
So tell me about that. When you're engaging with an employee on issues around their health and wellness, it's pretty sensitive stuff.
Sure.
And sometimes in the workplace setting, I don't want my employer knowing some of my bad habits. I don't want them knowing maybe what I'm dealing with from a wellness perspective.
Sure.
Are they protected in that process when they're dealing with you guys?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, everything that we do is HIPAA compliant. Same thing as if you were going to the hospital for some service.
Okay.
Your information is kept private.
Okay.
So your employer potentially would have an aggregate based on the total number of employees.
So I could see in my overall population, here are some of the trends that we're seeing, but I can't really know that, Steve is sort of binging on the Twinkies or whatever.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay, all right,
yep.
Got it.
And that makes, once you could make sure that your staff understand that, it makes it that much easier for them to be engaged in it.
Okay.
And again, we try to have that conversation with them, because everybody's worried about Big Brother, but in reality, part of the requirement for organizations is that they don't have access to the individual's data. They can only see it on an aggregate level. That way it can't be used for any type of hiring practices or firing practices. But it's really about engaging people in things in areas that are important to them, that they need. Okay. So instead of telling everybody they got to hear about diabetes, talk to those people that are potentially at risk, and talk to the other group which don't have to worry about diabetes, about something else. And that makes it much more customized, which drives impact.
So you work with lots of small business owners on wellness. How are owners feeling right now about making these things available to their employees and the importance of it?
Sure. I mean, I think all employers know that it's important to keep their employees as healthy as possible, as happy as possible, to make them more productive and give them the energy that they need. It helps with interacting with the customers. So a lot of times they didn't know that wellness was really available to them, especially if they're a smaller employer. So I think it's now just about driving that education that it is available and it can make a significant impact.
Steve Pelton from H Choices. Small business owners can bring wellness to their small business employees. Thanks, Steve. We appreciate it.
Thank you.